Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Time to Calibrate podcast. Hard to believe, but this is already episode 30. I am Bob Allaby from the Time to Go Travel and Timepieces YouTube channel, and I am joined by my co-host, freelance writer, and brand director of Isotope North America, Mark Levesque, as well as Brent Robillard from the Calibrated Wrist. Today, we have a very special guest and someone the three of us have gotten to know over the past few months. Jose Cermeno, the founder and creative force behind Jose Cermeno Watches. Welcome to the show, Jose. We're all glad to have you, and it's a little extra special having another Canadian brand on today. So we like to start with a wrist check, and as is customary for the show, the guest is up first. What do you have on wrist today?
I start? Okay.
I think I can guess.
Yeah, but right now I have the Losange Rouge of my own brand.
Yeah.
And I like to wear this one because it's like super flashy. I can be like dressed all in black. And I know it's like a podcast is audio, so you cannot see it. Like, I'm very proud of it, and I like to wear it. Yeah.
Can you describe it for our audience?
So it's for sure this one is red, and I have like it's a three hand watch, and one of the particularity of my watches is the leather on the dial, and it's all hand stitched by myself. I have like a coat, I have a base of metal, a dial in brass that's whole inside of it. I have a layer of foam, and after that a layer of skin lamb leather, and it's all hand stitched by myself to make that. If you can see, go check photos, images on my website, you can see like the pattern I make. It's like a mosaic of losange in French. And
it's like a quilt, kind of a quilted leather, I think would be.
Exactly. It's quilted. It's all. So what I like about my watches is like if you take two watches, even it's the same model, you will not see exactly the same dial because it's all hand stitched.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the handmade work behind all of my watches. So that gives like a uniqueness all of them, even it's the same model, the same color.
I hadn't thought of that. It's true. Each one
That's
should be
awesome.
Unique.
Yeah, as a photographer, I have to say that I feel a little bit selfishly that what I like most about your watches is that they're fantastic to photograph because they absorb light rather than kind of like reflecting light because of the leather behind the dial. And so it actually is like it's a joy. There's so many things I have to do in a studio in order to take a picture of a watch without having excessive reflection. And yet yours, what I really like is that it has that kind of that ability to absorb light. It has a very sort of matte style to it. Beautiful. And I love that particular, the red one's probably my favorite.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah,
one of the difficulties, the red one?
Yeah, that's my favorite too, yeah.
One of the difficulties for the photos, I know, because the last two models, I changed something. It's about the logo. The logo now is silver. So I know if it's like, you can see more of the dial in certain angle, and you can see more of the logo in other angles. So in photos, I know you have to take everything at the same time. So the logo flashing, the dial flashing. So I know it can be like super tricky.
Yeah.
I guess it's all the brands, but this one, like, because it's the logo is not on the dial. It's like literally under the glass, the crystal glass. So
I actually find that if you shoot like with a bigger depth of field, that you can capture it all. I like to shoot a lot of other watches more like, f2.8 to 5.6, but with your watches, I'll shoot them at a much higher f-stop just so that I can get that whole depth of field in there. But yeah, there's just a beautiful texture.
What are you wearing, Mark, today?
I've got my new to me Omega Speedmaster Solar Impulse.
Nice.
I got it a week ago yesterday. Very happy with it. Titanium. I think it's one of the only titanium Speedmasters. It's a 44.25 millimeter case. Frederick Piguet movement. It has a GMT as well. So yeah, it's really neat. Love it.
Yeah, I think that's a great pickup, Mark. Really, really cool.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Brent?
Is it traded? I know
Yes.
in other
Yeah, it was.
podcasts you trade a lot of watches.
Yes, it was.
I like this. I really like this.
It was a trade. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Sometimes Mark doesn't even take the postage off of the box when it comes in because it's going to go out in a week or two anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, I've traded a watch away before I even received it. So I didn't even
Wow.
open the box, just put a new sticker on it and left. And I've also done three-way trades where I'll have a watch that somebody else wants. What they're trying to trade me, I don't want, but somebody else wants. So we do like a three-way kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah,
This
I've
is
been
going
crafty
in
over the
a
years.
whole different direction than we were expecting.
What, Bob? You didn't have three-ways on your bingo card?
What about you, Brent?
Actually, I have something pretty special on my wrist this morning. It just arrived yesterday in the mail, and I'm really surprised that it arrived on time because it comes from Germany, and it's a Laco. But Laco's turning 100 this year. They're having their 100th anniversary, and as part of those celebrations, what they're doing is kind of a giving away 100 watches over 100 days, and the calibrated wrist is part of that giveaway. So this is the one that's actually going to be given away by us. So I'm going to be creating some content, and then starting on the 1st, which is Monday, the day our podcast comes out, through the 14th, I'll be running a giveaway for this particular piece, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's called the Frida because it's named after one of the founders who happened to be a woman, Frida Lacker. So yeah, got that on wrist today, and I'll probably be doing some photography a little bit later after we're done this podcast.
That's cool.
Nice.
I just had a watch show up yesterday. You might have gotten this one, Brent, too, to do a write up on the Vario RZE, the Ultra Hex trench. This is the Damascus dial version of the watch, which I've never experienced Damascus, at least on a dial. So just arrived yesterday, so I don't have a lot of wrist time with it yet, but a really cool watch.
I got the email this morning, actually. Mine's on the way, I guess, for a review, etc. I think I have like 3 watches that are coming in from either that one from Vario, that's the RZE collab, and then a couple of others from RZE too. So those are both brands I really like.
Yeah, 100%. So we're going to do a deeper dive into the specifics, but let's start with a quick background on Jose. If you're new to him and the brand, Jose is a trained watchmaker practitioner and spent 4 years attending the Valet de Jeu Technical School, and eventually made his way back to his hometown of Montreal and started Jose Cermeno Watches in 2019. Jose has created a watch with a hand-stitched quilted lambskin dial, and after seeing it in person, it is impressive. So, Jose, maybe we can back up a little here and start by telling us what made you decide to go to Switzerland to be trained in watchmaking in the first place. How did that interest in watchmaking begin?
But at first, it was not the idea. Like at first, I liked watches, and I was working as a valet in a hotel, in the W Hotel in Montreal. And I was used to like speaking to people like with a lot of money. So I was super curious to see like what they have on their wrist, and just talking about watches. They were super enthusiastic about it. So I started to be like super curious about watches, and after that, I was starting to look for school because it's something that is very interesting, like the watches in itself, and like the fact that it's mechanical, it's miniatures, it's things like that I liked. And the only school in Canada, but in Quebec, we had, and it's still the case, is in Trois-Rivières, so it's like maybe an hour and a half from Montreal. And it was like a school. I think the course is like a year and a half in total, and I wanted to travel at the same time, so I told myself like I started to do some research, and I saw there's like a few schools in Switzerland in French too. So I was like, okay, why not? So I went to I applied for admission test in one of the school, in École Technique de la Vallée de Joux, and so I went for 1 week, and for me it was an experience too, like to see the country, but also to see like what is like watchmaking in itself. And I really, really loved it. I passed the admission test, and so a few months after, I got accepted, and after that I went for 4 years. But in the 4 years, the school was 3 years, but I did some internships with the school and without the school. And the school is like right beside super huge brands like Audemars Piguet, Blancpain, Breguet, Jaeger-LeCoultre. I did some internships with all of them. A few of them I've did more than one, and I really, really loved it. And yeah, I had some ideas. From there, I had some ideas to do my own brand, and I was the only Canadian in my year. I think there was like a Japanese guy a year before me. That's it. The other people are from Switzerland or from France. And yeah, I really, really liked the school. So when I came back, I wanted to work on my brand. I was starting to drawing a lot and do some tests, but I started to work for Berks. But just to see like more the sales side of the watchmaking and the marketing side inside like a um, jewelry store with a lot of brands, and start to know like more of the lingo, we can say, like all the words around the watchmaking, not only the how you say, the work behind the workshop. Like in the workshop, I was more used to like working by myself and assembly watches and everything. But talking to people about watches, selling watches, it's like another world. So in my brand, I'm like more the watchmaker than the seller, to be frank. Like sometimes, like um, for the Vancouver Timepiece show in April, it was my biggest show ever. Like it was my first show. Like when I launched my brand in 2019, it was like there was a show in Montreal. It was the only one, but it wasn't that big, and it was like maybe 10, 15 brands. We were 2 from Canada, and that's where I met Alexandre Beauregard. And from there, like I really liked it was the first time I was showing my creations to people, and I really liked the feedback I had on it. So after that, it went well. I did some sales, and unfortunately, there was a big thing, the COVID era. And that took me off. Because of that, I had to take like a break. And for me, it was a little break, but finally it was like a huge break. And I came back only like in March this year with the launch of my second model. But it's like the second variation on my first model, the red one, the Losange Rouge. So yeah, I don't know what to tell more.
Well, you mentioned the fact that you were the only Canadian, and then you talked about being only one of 2 Canadians at a show, etc. So when we think about this, you've come an awfully long way, having come from Canada. But even before that, your parents had emigrated from Guatemala, and I can only imagine that life there was much different from the one that you're living now. How did they feel about your success and your chosen profession?
Wow, they they really liked it. For sure, they're super proud of me. Like every time, like even if I do a small post on Instagram, my mother goes crazy. She share it everywhere, and it's super nice to feel that. And she's super proud. And one thing too is my father. He's super proud too because he has the same name as me, and it's literally my name. The brand is literally my brand, so my name. So yeah, every time he sees like he was his watch too. So I'm proud of it too.
That's cool.
It is his watch. If it was yours, it'd be Junior.
Yeah, but because we're Latinos, we are 4 names. So my full name will be Jose Armando. That's my first name, my 2 first names, and he has another second first name.
If anybody ever questions you, why did you put your name on the watch? You can just tell them that's not mine. It's my dad's.
Yeah, I was honoring my father.
Exactly. If there's problems, I will say, no, it's not me. It's not my brand. It's my father's brand. I just represent.
Yeah, very cool. You studied for years at Valet du Joux. We've already mentioned that. 3 years of schooling and a year of doing internships at the big brands, Audemars Piguet, Jaeger-LeCoultre, Breguet, Blancpain. How did these experiences influence your design philosophy?
I will say it will be more in the future because I know like I want to do more complicated stuff, more complicated movement, do some collaboration would be super nice. I have I made a lot of friends over there, and they all work for big brands. All the like at the school where I went, it wasn't like in a big city. École Technique de la Vallée du Joux was in the mountains. Like it was like between Geneva and Lausanne, but like up there in the north. So it was a little bit lost. There was if you drive like 2 minutes, you will see cows. It wasn't like the big city. And over there, like all my colleagues, in the school, were usually from family of watchmakers. So yeah, I made like a lot of friends in that area, and yeah, for my design, the design in itself, it was a dream. To be frank, it was a dream about the losange, the quilting part, and but the letter was only like my idea. It was wasn't some. I wanted to do something like very different, and with the school, one thing I liked is we had some. I don't know what's the word in English, but we had some concours.
Contest.
Yeah, it was. There was one contest. It was named Contest Cartier. So the Cartier brand will take some with a lot of school in Switzerland. We'll do like a contest of who does the better design for one watch, and there's always like a team. And on my year, the team was about recycling. So we did like some design. We have to do like a movement with like a dial, and to do something like funky, like something we can create complication too. And what I liked about the school is not like only the mechanical part. It's always it was also the creative part that I liked, and that's something I really liked. My school was known for the more artisanal school of all the school in Switzerland. Like we'll do like more stuff by hand, and all the polish things, and yeah. Even at the school, we did something named a boîtier marine. I don't know what's the word in English, but it's like a big, let's say like a huge box with a huge movement inside. Because all the pieces are made by hand, and it took 3 years to do it at the school. And that's something like it's the only school that does that, and I don't know. It gives like more of the creative aspect of the watchmaking, not only like assembly watches and disassembles. And yeah, I really like the creative side of the watchmaking, and that's why I wanted to do my own brand. I took the better school for that. Yeah, it inspires me a lot.
You mentioned the contest with Cartier. I know that you happen to own a very interesting Tudor, the sport chronograph.
Yeah,
And it's also
have
not
it here.
just not just your regular run-of-the-mill Tudor. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
That was like I didn't know at first. It was at the third year of the school. It was like another contest, like we can say. If we Tudor will give us a movement disassembled, we had to assemble the movement, and if we pass their criteria, um, we will send the movement to Tudor, and if they pass the criteria, they will send us back the movement with all the rest of the watch to assemble the watch in itself. The only choices we had was a black dial or a white dial, and it's a chronograph. And I don't know if that's. I never knew if that's watch that model in itself. We can buy it. Like I think it was like it's a unique watch for the school, like a collaboration
Yeah,
with the school
it's the
and
Grand
Tudor.
Tour model, and I think it did, but maybe not that exact configuration. But that model did
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does look a lot like their sport chronograph, but
Yeah.
but there are definitely some differences. I was doing
Yeah.
a deep dive after you showed it to me, and I took some pictures of it.
Yeah, no, I didn't know you will post it. Like you asked. I remember when you came here, like you asked me to if you can take some photos. I was like, yeah, for sure. Like I'm super proud of it too. Like I assembled myself like a gift. I had like a souvenir from my school with my name engraved on it by Tudor on the back of the watch. And yeah, I'm super proud of it too.
Yeah, it's very cool. By the way, you're talking to 3 content creators right now. You can never trust us. If we take a picture, we're probably going to post it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Tudors back then. This is before Black Bay. This is that model wasn't very popular. Tudor wasn't being sold in the States at the time. It was still being sold in Canada, but you had to really ask for it and search for it. It's a really cool watch, and with that story behind it, and you having built it from scratch. Obviously you didn't mold the case, but assembled the movement and put it all together. That's great. That's a great souvenir, and a watch you can keep forever and be proud of.
That was the watch I was wearing every day since the school until I launched my brand. So it's super, super like used. Let's say there's a lot of marks on it. But yeah, I was super proud of it. I'm still proud. I just don't wear it that often now. But
yeah, we call that character.
Yeah.
Character.
So what motivated you to break away from established maison and create your own label? Now, you mentioned that, you were inspired by the school, the creativity and all that stuff, but you came back and worked for Burke's. Many people, I have a friend that's a watchmaker at Burke's. We know a couple of people. I think the gentleman that you came to the Montreal event worked for Burke's as well. The one we had in Beaconsfield.
Yeah, Grigor. Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you want to do your own brand and not just be part of the watchmaking behind the scenes?
What do you mean? Like, why I did my own brand?
Yeah, instead of just being a watchmaker, working behind the scenes, behind the bench, and doing your magic in the cases and all that stuff.
I like to do that. There's the creativity part, to do something by my own and to show my creation to people. That's one thing for sure. But I never saw myself like sitting in a workbench 40 hours a day, like all my life. It's not my thing. I like it, but it's not the only thing I like. And Grigor, he's the director of watchmaking at Burke's. I met him while I was working at Burke's, and a few times, more than a few times, he asked me if I wanted to work with Burke's because he knows that I have like a good experience with watches with the school in Switzerland. But I always told him like, yeah, it's an idea, but for now, like I want to launch my own brand. If it doesn't work one day, maybe. But now I see like more potential, and more I go, I see more potential. I have more ideas. I like bigger connection, let's say, around me, and I see a future. I see a future in what I do, and I very liked it. I just don't see myself like doing only the production part of my watches, and sometimes I have to delegate some things too. I would like to do my own watches, to do like more limited series, do more complication things like that. But I don't know. I'll see. But I just don't want to. I never wanted to do only the production side of watch.
So when you were younger, and you mentioned it already on the podcast, you actually worked as a valet for a while. And as I understand it, aside from the dream you had about the losange, something that you encountered while you were a valet was also the inspiration for your leather dials. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that was the cars. That was the interior of the cars. Like that's something like I really like about the Via Valet is yes, I was driving their supercars like Bentleys, Ferraris. You see the quilted leather stitching inside the seats. I very liked it. I see like the luxury side, like there is luxury aspect that gives. Yeah, I like the pattern. I just like the pattern and the fact it's leather, and that was the dream. When I had that dream when I was at school, it was mixing both worlds, like the luxury aspect of the quilting and to put it inside a watch. It was like, I don't know, that it came from that, and yeah. But one funny thing about the owners of these cars is that I was telling them like, "Hey, you have a nice car." They were like, "Okay," like wasn't much. And when I was talking about watches, they're like, almost remove the watches from the wrist and show them to me, like just to show me like their side of connoisseur, we can say, about watches, and that's where I very fell in love with watches. But yeah, the luxury aspect of quilting, I really liked it too. It's not only on cars. It's also on handbags, like Chanel handbags, things like that.
Mhm.
Saint Laurent. I really like this. The fact that they put foam and you can see like more than just letters. Like you can see deepness,
Yeah,
the
depth. Yeah.
depth. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I really like that too.
So when you first started the brand, what were some of the challenges you ran into that maybe you didn't see coming?
But before I started the brand, there was like years and years of trials and errors. Like you cannot see it because it's a podcast, but behind me there's my workbench, and there's one of these tiroir, one of these
Drawers.
sorry,
Drawers.
Drawer.
drawers. There's a lot of letters different, like the thickness different, the different materials, synthetic letters. I did a lot of tests until I found the one, and even there I have to find the perfect thickness of it. And the brass on itself, like the base of the dial, I had to do like a lot of tests. First, I have like my drill at my place. I was drilling some holes, doing some filing on the sides to do my stitching. And pretty soon, with Brent, you will see a video about more of the depth of the work on the dials that I never showed before. I wanted to do like more professionally than just filming with my phone, but you can see like more of how the dials are made, and that was the super difficult part. And after that, I had a friend of mine that I make at school that helped me a lot about how to 3D design my watch, because at first all my drawings were like on 2Ds, and he helped me a lot in 3Ds like this. I didn't have to like take a basic case of a watch and put my things inside. What I like is I created the case, the long horns and everything. It's all designed by myself. But my friend of mine like helped me a lot to do the 3D design. And without him, like for sure, I'm not that far in the production. And yeah, I work with a middleman too in Switzerland, who give me like the good links for the there's that les ressources dans le fond, les compagnies.
The resources. Yeah.
Yeah, the resources for the good places who do like who do the production for cases, for straps, for even the leather. The leather on my watches are from Italy, but sometimes depending on the color, they come from France. But the straps are all assembled in Italy, and they send me like the piece of leather on the side, and what of the same color, the same skin, to do my own dials. So like this, the dials and the straps are always matching the same color and the same grainless, the same grains. So yeah,
That's really cool. That's very smart.
I don't want to like mismatch some things. That's why the straps are the same, are like colorful too, because I wanted to do like this same matching colors.
Yeah, I have a follow-up question to Bob's question right there. When you started, how many times did you prick your fingers making those dials?
A lot of times, yeah, a lot of times. A lot of times. I never sew before my watches. Like sometimes I do some reparation on pants, let's say, but yeah, I learned by myself. That's why it took maybe more time to launch the brand, like from when I stopped the school, when I came back to Montreal. But yeah,
That's
Very
cool,
cool.
man. Go ahead, Brent.
So I've been in your workshop, and Mark just asked you the joke about how many times did you prick your fingers, but I am shocked about how dexterous you are, how fast you are at actually sewing those dials. And obviously, this isn't something that you learned in Switzerland in watchmaking school. And as you just mentioned, you had maybe sewn a repair on a pair of pants prior to this. So how did you become so adept with the material, and what was that learning curve actually like?
experience, like testing a lot of different letters, materials. When you came here, when you were filming, to be frank, I was faster than usual because I like to take my time to be like more, specific, I guess, more precise, and to give like the lines more straightness, because it's all hand stitched, right? So I have to make them like the more straight possible. But yeah, practice.
You joked earlier about our video. Ironically, Caroline's upstairs right now working on it.
Oh yeah. I didn't know if I don't know if the video is gonna release like before or after the Toronto timepiece show.
Just
No,
before, actually. Yeah.
just before. Okay,
Yep.
so yeah, that can give some marketing to the show.
That's the idea.
That officially will be my second biggest show.
Just to give you an idea of Jose's perfectionism, I sent him the logo that I made, the artwork for the episode with the stitching in our logos. And his reply was, I give it a 99.5% because the hands aren't centered in the middle of the losange.
Real square.
Like, wow, okay.
I know
thought it
it's
looked quite
AI.
good.
I know it's
No.
AI, so it's all good.
Yeah, and you know, with AI, if you ask it too many questions or you ask it to refine it too much, it just starts messing things up and it loses detail and things. So I'm gonna leave it alone. It looks okay, I think, but no, I
started to
feel
play.
bad. It's not perfect.
I started to play with AI recently. I literally put the photos of my watches and I make some modification. And sometimes, yeah, it gets weird, but sometimes it gives good ideas. It's nice. It's inspiration. It's like an extra inspiration.
Yeah, you have to take it as a like Brent and I are writers, and we can't ask the AI to write for us. If it does, it's never any good. You can ask it to give you a framework or bullet points or something, or you know, a launching pad, and then you have to really massage it and fix it, and you're better off writing it yourself. But if you're doing a press release or copyright or something you need done quickly, it's a good tool, but you can't use it as a crutch, and you have to be able to put your own personality and your own work into it. You can't just let it do it for you. As far as design's concerned, I've been using it for a while now to do our artwork for our episodes, and it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it comes up with some really neat things. Again, when you start, you just have to do your prompts properly at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like the first shot has to be complete, so you give it as much prompt as you can. Because if you don't and you want to refine and just keep on asking it to add more and do more or do something different, it loses part of what was good to begin with to replace it with something that they're trying to fix, and it's not there yet, but it's been fun and it's been funny too. It's created some cool pictures for us, and that design that we did for this episode, the artwork, I think it looks great. Yeah, the hands aren't centered, but it doesn't matter.
That's why the 99%.
Someday, Mark, you're going to have to do a carousel post that has all the bloopers.
Oh, God. I get so upset, too, because I use ChatGPT. I'll use Copilot. I've tried using Grok, the one from Elon Musk. I tried using, what's the one for, that's Google, Genesis.
Gemini?
There's
Gemini, but there's also
Gemini. That's it. Gemini. That's the one I
Gemini.
tried. And honestly, between ChatGPT and Copilot's pretty good if you're using spreadsheets. Like, we're encouraged at work, at my full-time job, to use it to help with anything that has to do with Microsoft. So Excel sheets, data, and all that stuff. It does a really good job with that, and presentations and stuff. I asked my staff recently to put together year-end, because it was our fiscal year-end recently. Their bullet points of the pros, the cons, the wins, the misses, and opportunities and all that stuff. And each one of my staff did something different, but then Copilot was able to use all of their information to make one presentation for me with everything cohesive and matching. So that's cool. That works.
Did you not like partially design a watch with AI that may or may not be getting produced?
Yeah. It was
I heard that in another podcast. I heard
the Tremix with Seal Instruments. Yeah, that's still on the back burner. I think Andrew wanted to get his Exos diver out, launched and going, and generate some revenue in order to fund that piece. And they came out with this new low price, I think it's $1,200 US for a Seal field watch with fixed bars. That's going to generate a lot of, and then after that we'll look at it. And also, I'm spending a lot of time with Isotope, so I don't have much time for that project. But it is something that I designed on using Gemini, using my phone. I was home sick. I had fever. I think I might have had COVID at the time. I don't remember. I was on my couch, and Gemini has just, how Google works. I have a Pixel phone. They implemented it into the phone just like that. Hey, you look, this is for you. Well, I didn't ask for this, but I said, let me try it. So I gave it some prompts, and it came out a couple of designs, and one of them I liked, and I posted it online. And then Andrew replied to the post saying, "Hey, we'll make that." I'm like, what do you mean you'll make that? And so we chatted, and he says, "We'll do a design challenge. You challenge us to make it, and we'll do it. We'll do it together." And that's what we did. And we had a couple of meetings, and we refined the design, and it looks really neat. It's a cool looking watch. It's just it's a matter of putting the time and having the funds to do it. But yeah, it's gonna be cool.
The good news, Jose, is that until ChatGPT and AI can actually sew leather, your job is safe.
Yeah, but think about this: they don't have any fingers to prick.
Yeah, true. But that's the thing I like about my creations, that the handwork behind. And it was difficult. One of the thing I just realized something. One of the thing we can see about my watches is like the bottom half is like mechanical side is like super precise, but the upper part, the dial, is like more the artistic side, but it's like more it's not fixed. Like, yeah, for sure I have to put some securities for the hands doesn't touch the dial, never, and like some gaps. But if you see, like, all the dials are not like, if you take them apart, they're not the same thickness. It's like always different. The curves are a little bit different. So in watchmaking, usually you don't see that. It's always precise, always super mechanical, all in the order. And but I like this aspect too. So I like to give like a mix of two worlds, different.
For sure. And so leather as a dial material is unconventional, to say the least, right? That no one else has done that. How do you?
Yeah. There's some brands who did it before. I checked. I did my research, and I saw some brands doing it, but it's not hand stitched. It's only like a piece of leather. Like Hublot did it. Other brands like not Z. Yeah, I always it's with a Z. Zamas. No, it's not. No, it's not Zenith. It's like a small brand. It's not a small brand
Zen
from
Master or something like that.
No, it's something from Monte Carlo. It's like a small brand.
Okay.
Zeneas, maybe something like that. But yeah, they use leather, but it's like just a piece of leather, maybe stamped, but that's it. There's no like handwork. There's no like stitching or anything.
Yeah. So with leather, how do you ensure long-term durability and legibility with preserving its artisanal appeal? Like, how's it going to look in 10 years?
But I cannot say for sure. Like, but the watch I wear almost every time is my the first watch I made. It's the prototype one, and I wear it every day since 2019, and there's never had problems. It's the watch is on itself. It's étanche. It's waterproof, water resistant to 5 atm. So I know it's like there's no air, there's no dust, nothing touching inside of the watch. The only thing that can change, but for me it will be a good thing, it will be the color. Like, it can give like a patina on the watch.
Yeah.
And on the prototype, I have another thread I was using that was a little bit with a little bit of wax, we can say. But the other watch I have right now, there's no wax on them, so it doesn't give like a special aspect on the dial. Doesn't give like something visible different in the long term. So yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool, actually. You think of an old bomber jacket, how the patina looks really cool. I wonder if that'll
without the creases.
Without the creases, yeah. But like
exactly.
the discoloration and the age, that might look really, really cool.
It will give more uniqueness to the watches, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It will be you cannot see it like maybe on the black watches, but like other colors, like more light. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a watch at Isotope with a marquetry dial made of straw. And we get the same question because we don't lacquer the dials at all. It's just the material. And Jose, our owner of the company, mentions to people, says, look, it's going to last forever. It's going to look great because, like you said, the watch is 100 meters water resistant. There's no air. Just don't leave it on a windowsill in the direct sunlight, day after day. Then it'll ruin.
But that's with every watch, right? But
yeah, pretty much. But more so because it's straw, right? I mean, but if you wear it and you like a normal person, it should last a lifetime.
Yeah.
So you have features in your watches like your floating logo, which is pressed up against the crystal. You've got engraved black indices on the rehat and polished Dauphine hands, which are really beautiful. How do you decide which delicate details enhance a watch's identity without overcomplicating the design.
I wanted to do some for the hands. I wanted to put something
For
like
all your details. Like, how do you not compromise the simplicity of the dial and not add too many things, not want to crowd it? Like, how do you keep it nice and,
at the beginning I was putting like so much stuff that it wasn't putting the dial on itself in front. Like I was thinking about Superluminova. Like I was like, yeah, that's more maybe too much sporty. I wanted to put it like an elegant look, more simply look, elegant but minimalist too. So I wanted to put like the dial in front for sure, the most possible. And the hands, I wanted to put something simple with not that simple. Like the dolphin, what I like is like there's like two faces.
yeah,
You
they're
can see
faceted.
a
Yeah, it's
bit more of
beautiful.
reflection. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at first there was not any second hand. Um, and finally I put it because I wanted to show the automatic part of the watch.
Mm.
Yeah, at the first model, there's the word automatic on the watch on the crystal, but I removed it for the two other watches because for me it's like a little bit. You can sit with the second hand, and like this, I can give more space to the dial to see it more on itself. For the indexes, I put it on inside of the block on the bezel. Something minimalist. I put some lines, gives a look that I like. And for the polishes, I wanted to do like to make the polishes like appear more. So there's some brushed lines on the case with some polish parts, so it gives like more. It flash more, I guess, depending on the angles. And yeah, but at first when I do like the prototype is all 3D printed. I did some tests. I wanted to do like a lot of variation of diameters. This one is 40 millimeters, and I tried 42, 38, and I wanted to do like just only one. So I went to the middle and I went for 40. But one thing I realized was at the Vancouver Timepiece show. That was the first time I was seeing a lot of people and giving feedback of my watches, and they told me there's a lot of requests for smaller um, diameter of the watches. A lot of women too ask me if I can do it smaller. I have some. I have women who bought my watches, but usually they ask for smaller, like maybe 36, 30, maybe not 33, but like 36, 38 millimeters. And it can give another look to my watches. And yeah, that will be like, I don't know if I will do the same design, but I will like to do that too.
Keep in mind that it's within the watch community that people want the smaller watches. The general public of people that buy watches, like the mass market people, they're still into the 40 to 44.
Yeah, like before it was the diesel watches, like super huge
diesel,
on the wrist.
Yeah. Well, that was overkill, but there's still a lot of people that like to have a big watch. I mean, I still enjoy wearing a big watch, and I know that Brent and Bob do too. Smaller watches are the it thing, with the Warner Wound people, the Hodinkee people, and a lot of the collectors want the smaller, but don't discard the bigger crowd. And 40 millimeters, in my opinion, is right at the sweet spot for most. 38 to 40 is probably your ideal. But if you do a 36, I'm sure it's going to be very popular too. So, but just don't discount the people who want the bigger watches. I mean, there's a reason why Rolex is making 41 millimeter Datejusts, and they've made their Submariner bigger, and they have a 42 millimeter Explorer 2, and so forth and so on. And Breitling still makes 46 millimeter watches, and Omega is still making giant watches. Yeah. So there's a reason for it, right? It's not just a community.
I was doing so much research before that when I was in the production of launching my brand, and I was saying like one of my favorite brands is Audemars Piguet, and the Royalogs are like 41 and 39. I'm like, it's just 2 millimeters different, but there's like so much difference for the community. Like they will never wear it something above 40 or under or something.
And they wear big, those watches. They wear very big because of the integrated bracelet. The width of the bracelet itself is like a big cuff. The Octo Finissimo from Bulgari is a 40 millimeter watch or whatever it is, but the bracelet's like 27 or 28 millimeters. wide. It's enormous. It wears like a gauntlet.
I think when you get into the enthusiast community, like we're all part of, and especially at an event like the Vancouver Timepiece Show, that's exactly where you see them all out in force. You get that sort of that nitpicky, very, very specific desire for something. But like Mark says, you take a look at the larger watch world. And I just listened to a podcast with Neil Brick, who works in merchandising for Citizen. And he said that sure, it's come down a little bit for them. They used to average their biggest sellers were 44 and 45 millimeters, and now they're still 43. So that's a far cry from the 36 that we're seeing in the enthusiast sphere for sure. And Bob, you've had a similar experience too. You mentioned once when you were working in retail with Sam at Gem Bijou that
I was just going to say,
the Longines, was you thought for sure.
Yeah, I think they came out with the Spirit in a 38 millimeter, and it was at 40 or 42 before. And I was like, Sam, order as many as you can get your hands on, because everybody was asking for them, but they did not sell. We'd sold a couple here and there, but for the most part, the random person walking in is going for the bigger watches for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think you've got a great size there.
Yeah.
I'm curious. You mentioned a little bit about your hiatus, the little break you took, and that was probably spawned a little bit by COVID, but then it turned into quite a long break for you. So ever since you've come back in March, it's very evident that you've kind of doubled down on this profession. So what made you step back for so long, and then ultimately what motivated this huge return?
I tried to come back in 2022, around 2022. I released a video. And the thing is, I wasn't full-time in that. And I was working in that time at Air Canada too. Another world. But to pay my apartment, pay my things. I tried to come back in part-time in this project, and no, it wasn't enough. Like, I want to do like this 100% of my time. It's not like a part-time thing. If I delegate a lot, for sure, it will be another thing, but I want to be invested in that for sure. And if there was no COVID, I would be like for sure like so much further right now. But I never stopped to hope with my brand to go further. And when I came back, I had so much good feedback too. And the Vancouver was also something like very, very interesting that gave me a lot of more hope, let's say. I know Jason Houghton, the creator of the shows, invited me last year for the Toronto Timepiece Show. And even there, like, I wasn't ready yet. But I wanted to be like 100%. So I came to the show, but I didn't expose to see like how it was at the same time. And I very liked it. And I can't wait for the next Toronto Timepiece Show. Like, I saw the venue, the photos and everything, and I'm like, oh, it's super nice. And I like the people in watchmaking too. Like, that was one thing I missed a lot, because at first, I'm not like yes, I'm that's my creation, that's my brand. But at first, I'm a watch enthusiast. I like watches. I like to see watches. I like to touch them, and like, I will be the first one to go to these events just to know more about watches and to expose at the same time. It's like something big for me. And I can't wait for the next show in Toronto.
I thought it was funny when Mark and Bob and Jason were holding their get together in Montreal and Beaconsfield not too long ago. That was the same day that we did the filming with you.
Yeah,
and we didn't even realize, but we were both headed to the same event afterwards.
Exactly. And I think I went there, and when I left, it was like at the end, like very at the end, because I was just talking with so much people about watches. Like, I was showing what I do, but also like seeing what other people wears. And in Montreal, like, I don't know, there's like not that much enthusiast that I thought, but there's more than I thought. But there's no like big events like Jason do for Toronto. I learned something this morning. I don't know if I can talk about it, but I don't know if you saw the email. But I can't wait for next year.
Maybe
maybe
we'll edit
one of those. That part.
We did another one of those events like we did in Montreal and Ottawa recently with Bob and Jason. And the collectors there, I think there were a few people that brought some watches with them, not brands, but the collectors brought
Yeah.
their collections with them in Montreal.
Small
But in
boxes.
Ottawa, it was quite special. Like there were tables full of watches, and
Yeah.
people were just sharing and talking. And fine, we presented with Isotope and Ver and a couple other brands, but it was the enthusiasts. I mean, it was all about sharing their passions and why they collect their watches and the stories behind them. We met politicians, we met military people, we
Yeah.
met
Oh,
service people. It was amazing. That was really, really cool. We plan to do it again soon in Montreal. Hopefully, probably at the same venue, because it was a nice, safe space. We had our own section to ourselves.
Yeah.
You felt safe, with all the watches being displayed and stuff. So we'll do it again for sure. And because it was such a success, I'm sure the next one is going to be even better.
Well, probably, I think Jason and I are thinking October. We'll narrow down the dates when we get a little bit closer, but yeah, probably October.
Well, I think that's something very
Montreal
unique to
again.
Ottawa, actually, because the Ottawa Red Bar is very interesting like that. I've only been out to a couple events, but both were exactly as you guys just described this recent event, is that people come out with a lot of their collection. They were coming with suitcases, those Nanook cases that, to keep everything safe, but literally they were opening up cases that might have had $250,000 worth of a collection, and they felt safe in that environment to show them and pass them around. So it's not something that I've experienced either in Montreal or in Toronto. So very cool.
is there a red bar in Montreal? Like I don't even know. I think
Yeah,
yes,
there's a red bar. When the Toronto Taipei show was happening last year, the week before, Red Bar did a traveling show. So they came to Montreal, they did Toronto, and then they did, all the same people went to the Toronto Taipei show and were displaying. So it was Christopher Ward, Fears, and Studio Underdog was part of the roadshow. So we did it they did it at the pub downtown Montreal. And it was
I saw that video, I think, with
Yeah.
Thomas, I think.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
And Adam Craniotis was there. It was busy. It was good. It was actually very, very good. And the person who had taken responsibility for the Red Bar in Montreal tried to do a couple more events. Wasn't very good. Look, he's a young man. I think he just started in his watch journey. He's a finance person. So him and his finance friends come to these things wearing suits. They wear their APs and their Rolexes. And, I had shown up at one of those events wearing a Christopher Ward Moonphase, the one that I reviewed for the Caliber wrist, which is a really cool watch. And, so I was talking to someone about it, and one of these finance bros, "Oh, you're one of those microband guys." Come on. I mean, seriously.
Like a title is like a
Yeah, as if it was a pejorative. It wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
So that turned me off completely. I stopped going to those events, and there's no activity. He takes some pictures and puts them on Instagram after an event, but it's very little. It's no good. I asked Adam to look into it and see. I wouldn't mind. I have a little group of friends that we get together once every couple of weeks, and we could run the Red Bar and create it into something special. But right now, with what Bob is doing, if we do an event in Montreal and Ottawa every couple of months, I mean, that's good enough. And we actually have brands that'll present, like real watch brands that'll bring their collections for us to see, and for, collectors to see in person and handle the watches, which you don't usually get with these micro brands, right? I mean, Micro Mil Spec, these are super cool watches, military based company. They're tough as nails. Most of us have never seen them unless you've been to the Toronto Taipei show last year. No one's seen these things in person, but now we have a Pelican case with like 4 of them and a whole bunch of cases and dials and bezels that you can play with and try on.
It's kind of cool because after the Toronto show, there's a few more brands lined up that want to be a part of it. And we're sort of timing it. They're getting their watches into the country for the Toronto show, and we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'll have a few more brands, and actually quite a bit more watches from the brands, including Micro Mil Spec.
And I think
after September,
Maurice Lacroix might be one of those brands, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a decent player there to have some really cool inventory.
Yeah, they've got some good stuff out lately too.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. So back to, because we're not talking about Jose enough here. What? It's all about Mark.
No, it's all about watches. Watches.
Kidding. So going forward, do you plan to continue using the same dial process for future models, or would you even steer away from leather at some point in time, or what's the plan?
I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if the letter, if like it will be like my brand image, like I'd say.
Mhm.
I don't know yet. Like I have so much idea, so much. I draw so much stuff that there's ideas that I know I cannot do it, but like it gives me an idea as to where I want going. But yeah, I like the creation, the creativity part of the watches, and the complication things too. So I want to mix everything together. Like maybe one day with tourbillon, things like that will be like super nice.
Mhm.
But I don't know yet. I don't know if it will be like there in all my watches. One thing I learned, it's funny because at the Vancouver Timepiece Show, one thing I learned from another brand, well, just don't remember the brand right now. The brand was just besides me, was a Swiss brand.
Fortis?
Yeah, for this, I was talking with one of the guy working for the brand, and he was telling me that it would that maybe I can do like something more not sporty, but like with a steel, like a bracelet, a steel bracelet. I was like, I don't know about that. But he was telling me like maybe he can, because he knows that I wanna do more work with um, Japan. Like that's one of my dreams, to live, not live there, but like to work there maybe a few months per year, and to do collaboration with Japanese brands or Japanese artists. And he told me something that I really didn't know. It was about the Japanese people. Supposedly, they don't like a lot of the leather bracelet, the little straps, because of the it can give like a it can get not moist, but like it can give it's not the best for the hygiene. I'm like, okay. And he told me like all the watches they sell in Japan was with the steel bracelet. And it was funny for me. I was okay. I never thought about this. And after that, I realized that Grand Seiko, all the brands like that, like they all do strap watches in leather. So I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. So I have to test like the market over there, I guess. But yeah, I would like to work over there and do stuff, collaboration, maybe live over there will be one of my dreams. I'm starting to learn Japanese, right?
Oh, really?
My side. Yeah, Japanese will be like my fourth language. Like I really know how to read it now, but to speak it's another thing. But yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
But yeah, sorry for my English, by the way. I know it's not the best.
No, it's fantastic.
English is like my third language. But I'm not just used to it. Like every time I was speaking English, it was only at my work, at Berks, and at Air Canada, and that's it.
It's my first language, and I can barely get through a sentence sometimes. So. So right now, the Losange is available in 3 colors, limited to 25 pieces.
Each,
Do you ever plan to stick to small batches like that, or same as the dials? You're not sure, like if you plan to scale up or down the
but
road.
for sure, I will. I want to stay in small batches.
Yeah,
That gives like more not uniqueness, but more limited. Like gives more life to the watches, I
Exclusivity.
guess. And yeah, and the black one, the Losange Noir, the first one is almost sold out. I think I have like 5 or 4 more watches to sell. But what I liked about small batches is that the creative part of my side is like I can do something new every time. That's my plans, to not do always the same thing. And in the future, we can say, oh, that watch is from that year, and there's only 25, maybe there's only 5 of these watches. I really like this idea. I don't know if I will do
Yeah.
like some unlimited stuff. I don't know. Like I like the limited thing because I can do something different every time. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah. I had one question on my side, if I can. It's
Yeah.
for Mark. You said before about your group in Montreal. Is it with
Yeah.
James? Is it James with you in
Yeah.
that group? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is
So James,
Yeah.
James Cornish, right? You're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. He's
Yeah,
the,
James Cornish is Jose's photographer for his products
Yeah.
on his website
Okay.
and
Cool.
very,
his
very
advertising
good.
stuff. I had to specify James because there are 3 James
Oh,
in our
okay.
in our group.
Yeah, he told me
And
there's 2. I guess there's 3 now.
yeah, there's 3, and then it's myself, Sam, and another gentleman by the name of Bosco. So it's 6 or 7 of us.
Yeah.
And you're welcome whenever we have. They went out yesterday night. Unfortunately, I was with family, but they did something yesterday evening. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Good group.
It's good to know that there's small events like this. And if you can get bigger, like it's good, but also sometimes it's good to just have like a little circle, a couple watches, maybe have a drink, and yeah, it's super nice.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that.
pretty nuts. To be honest, Bosco and James Fournier have very expensive collections.
Okay.
And the first time Bosco showed up at one of our events, he was a friend of Aaron Bespoke. Aaron
Yeah.
who makes the watch strap. So he's another one of our members or friends. And so he showed up with a Lang & Sone datograph in platinum.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen one of
Okay.
those in person. And last week or 2 weeks ago, we got together and he had a Gégé Lecoultre chronopulsar or something like that with the Foudoyant chronograph.
Okay.
That was a mental watch, also in gold. It had 2 mainsprings, and to wind the watch one way wound one, and when you wound the other way to turn back, wound the other.
Okay.
It was so cool. And anyways, I've seen some really nice stuff. And
It's nice to see watches like expensive,
Yeah.
but they're not known to the public. Like a lot of people, I know a lot of people, even myself, I know them. They buy watches more for the status than the watch on itself.
Oh yeah, that's not our group. That's those
I
finance
heard
bros.
you in
that I
one of
talked about
the other
before.
podcasts. You said something about someone in the metro. He was giving a compliment. He was saying, I think it was a nice Cermeno, and the guy was like, "What? No, it's not Rolex." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a nice
It's
C
so funny
roller
because
it
it's
was
so true. I see
yeah.
that so often, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, amongst an enthusiast crowd, and Elanga and Zana is quite a flex. But outside that crowd, people probably have no idea what that is.
No.
They only make
No.
about 5,000 watches a year as a brand in total, But
Yeah.
I went to an event in Niagara, and they're out of this world. And I did see the plat was phenomenal.
I actually have a quick story, Brent, before you go. A quick little story. So my friend James Fournier has a solid gold Ulysse Nardin Torpilleur chronograph.
Okay.
And it wasn't functioning very well. It had something wrong with it. And he was dealing with Ulysse Nardin in Canada. He sent it back 3 times. It kept coming back, the same problem. So we were talking about this because he had brought it with him and it wasn't functioning very well. And it was a really cool watch. And because of our podcast and because we know RIKKI from Scottish Watches, and RIKKI knows the president, CEO of Ulysse Nardin.
Well,
I asked RIKKI to put me in contact. That guy got a hold of me on WhatsApp. He sent me the contact information for the guy in the US. That guy contacted me, said, "How can we help you, sir?" They got a hold of his watch. They sent him a label to ship it to the US. They refurbished his watch complete to brand new specs and fixed everything and paid for the shipping back. It cost him nothing.
Wow.
And that's all because of the contacts we've made through this podcast.
that's good. That's super
Very
good.
cool.
That's amazing.
You can see the impact there.
Yeah.
It's a good
Yeah.
impact.
Well, since we're already talking about other watches, and we talked about your Tudor earlier, outside your own creations, what other watches do you own, or is there something you'd really like to own?
Can I ask you a question before that? Just, I have a question for you, and it gives like it's in the same aspect. When you do sports, or when maybe you go to the gym, you don't wear mechanical watches, right? Or maybe yes, but with still bracelet, I guess.
Well, yeah,
Is
I do
it a
sometimes.
G-Shock?
Yeah,
This is a Casio.
okay.
Yeah.
I
Because
actually,
sometimes I wear. Sorry, go ahead.
I wear a Breitling Aerospace when I work out at the gym.
Oh yeah.
Sports, but
Okay.
not mechanical. Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes I wear like a G-Shock just for the gym, because I know like I can throw it away. I can put it in my gym bag. I can hit it like everywhere and doesn't do nothing. And I've nothing against like quartz watches, but sometimes people like because I have my own brand and I'm in mechanical watches, that I wear a Casual, a G-Shock. Sometimes I wear an Apple Watch too, but I never wear it on my dailies, only for the gym, because it's a gift from my brother. So I wear it only and at the gym, and it's only for I use it only for the chrono. So that's it. So yeah, usually I just wear my brand like outside the gym, and yeah, that's it. But
Yeah,
to
I used to wear a Timex just for the chronograph because I used to time a minute between sets.
yeah, exactly the same
So
thing. Me.
it wasn't even a chronograph; it was a timer. It just so that I only took a minute between sets. And then when I started getting to, because I used to work out a long time ago, I still do, but I used to wear my expensive watches to the gym.
Yeah.
If I was doing legs, where I know my hands weren't going into some dumbbells or into any straps or into anything that would contact with metal.
Yeah.
But I usually leave them at home and use the G-Shock or the Timex.
Yeah, I will wear my brand at the gym if I have a steel bracelet. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, but a watch I would like to have, I don't know. One of my dream watch when I was starting school, and it was like a hype over back then. It was maybe around 2013, 14. It was the Romain Gauthier logical one.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I really like the fact that with the ruby chain, it was super nice. I saw it in person. I know the brand is in the Valet, but I never had the chance to visit the atelier, the workshop. But I saw it at the Bezel World. I went 2 times over there, and just after they stopped, I think they stopped and they went for the other show in Geneva beside the CHH. But yeah, the Romain Gauthier logical one is one of them. Like I said before, the Royal Oaks, I really like them. Not for the statue, but more for the aesthetic of it. Like octagonal. You can see it from far, you can see it right away. The design, I really like it.
Hey, maybe you can make a losange with a really small pattern and put it inside a Royal Oak.
It would be nice. Collaboration with
That would
other
actually
brands
look
would be
pretty
nice. I would like to do collaboration with other brands, and maybe not only watch brands, but also like artists. Like I know some artists in Montreal, they do painting. They can do like something, the same thing when miniature. It can be like a dial for me, and I will put it later somewhere else. I don't know. I have so much ideas, but it would be super nice. Collaboration is one thing.
Wow. So you are exploring different materials and complications. You mentioned tourbillon. That would be the epitome of a complicated watch. Can you expand on the different styles and maybe mechanical features you'd be interested in, other than tourbillon? Maybe a chronograph or GMT
Chrono, I
or
don't know, because it gives more of a sporty look. I like it, but I don't know if it will be like fitting with my brand for now. Tourbillon for sure was that's one thing. Complication like maybe like moon phase, a phase de lune would be nice, or
little quilted moon underneath the dial.
yeah, it would be nice. Like skeleton watches, like maybe if I do like a tourbillon, it would be like half of it, or maybe the 75% of like leather, but you can see like through it and things like that. Yeah. It's not a complication, but a gold motor would be nice too. That was the idea first, but the watch will be like so much expensive.
Yeah, and the price of gold right now.
Yeah. Also, when I was working at Berks, I was selling watches, but there was like only I think 2-3 brands we had like with the full gold watches with the still the gold strap, the gold bracelet, and yeah, it was so expensive just for the gold. And it's the same watch as another one, like around 20,000, 30, things like that. And I don't know. I didn't want to start with that, but yeah, in the future for sure I will put some gold. But I don't want to enter like in the high jewelry watches, like with full of diamonds. I like what not Cartier, but Chanel do with the watches. They have like the male model, I would say. It's a little bit bigger, but when they do smaller, they will put like sapphires for the indexes, or on the dial itself, or on the dial. So you can have a lot of variation of the same watch with different configuration. That's cool. That's very nice too. That's complication. Yeah, tourbillon for sure. It will be Swiss made. That's for sure. One day I can have like maybe how you say that?
In-house movement?
In-house movement, yeah. Sometimes I look my words in English.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, in-house movement. But the thing is, I'm alone in that, and I like to give the idea of putting other people in front, not just me. So that's why collaborations will be super thing. I think I would like to do.
Yeah, there are a couple of tourbillon movements that have become now again in the realm of watches affordable. You know,
yeah.
Delma uses one that's outsourced, Swiss-made, fully Swiss-made tourbillon, and they're at $8,000, somewhere $8,000 to $10,000. There's Orage that has a tourbillon that's relatively affordable.
I think I know the brand who does the tourbillon. It's funny because when I was in Switzerland, I was working as an internship for David Kondo. I don't know if you know him.
No.
He's in the. I just saw the for the Toronto Timepiece show. There will be like an award ceremony, and there David Kondo is one of them in the complications. He's a watchmaker independent, and he's one of the finalists I saw. And I was working with him, and he was doing like complicated stuff. And one of the watchmakers working over there was a good friend of mine. Like I knew him over there, and he was working in that brand. I think it's PCP Tourbillon.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and that's one idea. I would like to see further. Maybe I can work with someone else, but for sure we'll put into.
Yeah, it's really cool that tourbillons have become, again, in the realm of our space here, affordable at $10,000.
Yeah.
Because a tourbillon used to be $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000.
Yeah,
you know, not that long ago. And it look, the complication these days is not as important as it was when it was first invented to negate the effects of gravity on a mechanical watch. Watches now are a lot more robust. There's much more impressive shock resistance. It's not really that needed, but it is an impressive feat of engineering. And if you can bring the prices down and you get to see the carriage turn on the dial, it's something special to see in person. It really is.
Yeah.
If you can get one that's, you know, relatively affordable, that could really help your brand. I mean, it would really be cool.
I like the mechanical side of the tourbillon because everyone thinks the tourbillon, like they can see like a skeleton watch with an open
heart, just
heart.
To see the escapement.
Yeah, it's nice, but when you see the tourbillon, you see the big difference.
Oh yeah.
I like that, and why the why it's made too. Like why the tourbillon is like necessary. It's not necessary, but you know, in watchmaking, there's a lot of stuff that are not necessary, but it's nice to see.
Yeah, look, we're in a business that is not necessary. We all have iPhones. Cell phones at all time.
There's watches with.
If we're gonna bring necessity in this, we might as well just stop talking about it. So we talked about pricing. Your watches are priced at $1,950 USD.
Yeah, exactly.
With limited runs, and you and I have politely had, you know,
some discussions
about pricing. How do you balance affordability, exclusivity, and production viability? How do you take that into consideration when you do your pricing?
What do you mean, like how I make my price?
Yeah, how do you balance the affordability of the product with the amount of work that you put into it and the exclusivity of the product, and you know?
Well, for sure, the money I spent on the materials, and to be frank, I don't put a lot of how do you say it? In the prices. There's not like
a lot of markup.
Yeah, on the markup, there's no like the time I put in my watches. It's more about the material at first, because I'm not like a non-brand. If it would be the same brand, it will be the same watch with let's say a huge like brand, like I don't know, Tudor, like a big brand on it, like a big logo on it. The watch could maybe, I don't know, because of the handwork, will be like maybe 10,000. I don't know, like it can be like super more expensive. But in my case, like I put more of the material than anything, the price. Like I said before, like I'm the watchmaker behind the brand. Like I'm not like the sales guy, the marketing guy. I'm learning while I'm going, because I'm alone in that, and that's for sure. It's one thing I want to delegate when I can. It will be like all these aspects of marketing, selling, and it's not. I know it's not like my strongest points. One day when I'm gonna delegate all that part of the business admin side.
I can imagine. I remember learning when I started getting into management in the business world that time is money, right? So when you look at an employee's time, you calculate, they spent 3 hours, it's X this much per hour. So all the research and development you did on figuring out which leathers to use on your dials, all the pricked fingers, all the swear words, all that costs money.
Even the dials I do now, sometimes the dial is like almost finished, and there's something I don't like. It's not perfect, or like there's like a small defect, a small
yeah.
and I don't like it, so I will restart it. Like I don't want to sell something I'm not proud of it, or maybe I wasn't proud of it. So
Well, that leads to another question. Are there a lot of rejected dials? I know that we talk about brands that do coal-fired enamel and all kinds of other stuff, and there's a reject rate, right? You'll make 10 dials and maybe 7 of them are terrible. You keep 3 and you keep on going. What's the status with you? What's the reject rate on
I
making
didn't do
one of those
enough
dials?
dials to say that maybe 50% are not good, but usually like I don't know. On the brass on itself, the dial base, I do there's some holes and there's always a file on the sides because the threads are going inside the dial.
Okay.
But sometimes the file is not well done, so it can be like a little bit sharp on the edges. So sometimes I will do the stitching and boom, the thread is cut in half, and the thread I'm doing on my dials is only one thread. It's only one thread going all the way around. And
okay, hold on. That's one piece of string, one thread.
Yeah.
For all of the stitching in all the directions.
Yeah, that's things I don't know.
Now I have to see Brent's video.
It's like I don't even know like what's the measure. Like I take but you can see behind me my workbench. I take a thread. I'm not guessing. I'm like taking one longer of the workbench and a half, and that's the longer of the threads I'm using because I have to do like a knot at the beginning.
Yeah.
And there's specific in the case, if you open the watch, there's specific holes for the knot to not touch the outside of the inside of the case, let's say, and the movement too also. And when I do the stitching, I do one knot. I do all around my pattern. It's like a specific pattern. I did so much pattern different. And when you will see the video of Brent, you will see like under the dial, there's file lines inside, and that's specific to the pattern I do, not for the threads going inside the dial, for not to be like straight and not touching the movement.
Recessed into the bottom of the dial.
Yeah.
Do you lacquer it so that the threads don't come out or anything, so it doesn't touch the movement, or is it just raw, the steel with the brass with the threads?
Yeah, I'd say it's raw, but it's going like it's very inside. It's not flush. It's not flush. It's like inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and to have like a security, like to be sure it's straight. And I don't know where I was going about this. So when I'm doing the stitching, can't wait to see
this video now.
When I finish the stitching, like sometimes it really happens, like the thread cut and the thread is super strong. Like I always pull like super strong just to be sure like it doesn't break while I'm doing the stitching.
That's why you go to the gym.
Yeah, exactly. Bicep traps every day. But sometimes it cuts. Maybe sometimes the threads is like the lines are not very straight, or I don't know. There's always not always, but sometimes there's something, so I have to restart from the beginning. Sometimes I can save the letters. Usually no. Usually it's always another piece of letter I'm using, and rarely I use another base of because the feet under the dials are already there, already soudé.
Yeah, soldered. Yeah,
soldered under the dial, so I make sure to cautious to not break the feet. Yeah, so I don't know if to give a percent. 5 to 50. I don't know. It depends.
Wow.
Depends.
Yeah. See, so that's involved in the price of the watch. I mean, all that extra work, right?
Yeah.
So you talked about the learning curve, obviously with the watch making itself, the leather, the sales, all the aspects. of owning a brand, what advice would you offer to someone who's an aspiring watchmaker or someone dreaming of starting their own watch brand today? Maybe don't do it right before a pandemic would be one thing.
If you can, if you know it in advance, for sure, yes.
Yeah.
But you never know. So, yeah, I guess it would be like to just go for it. And one thing I like about the business era is the I'm learning more while I'm doing than just doing schools of business and things like that. I'm learning when I'm going. I know I'm not perfect, but on this side, but I always learn more and more and more. And yeah, one thing I like too is the connection I make with that when I'm do shows or with this podcast. Like I'm super proud to like I always hear like when I'm driving around, I'm putting your podcast and I'm hearing you, and now I'm here. Like it feels like so, I don't know, unrealistic, I guess. When I think I saw all of you at the same time at the Vancouver Timepiece Show for the first time.
Yeah.
And for me, it was something because I was hearing you. Sometimes it was videos too. And then, I don't know, it was meeting like a huge YouTuber or an artist or actor or something like that.
Bob is a huge YouTube star. So
Yeah. But time to go. But for a new person who want to do his own watch brand, but for sure, one thing I will suggest is to know more about watches, not just like the money side to like invest in something, do something. To know watches more like maybe not do like a school like me of 3 years, but maybe some practice on the movement, assemble something. I know there's some training courses to just touch, have the feel of what's inside the watch. That's good to know, I guess. And yeah, not copy others. That's one thing too. But that's me for sure. Like I didn't want to do something similar to other brands, so I wanted to do something very different. But yeah, there's some watches I see like they're new brands, but like it's literally copy of other brands. I'm like, okay, that's not. I know there's people who buy it, but I don't know. It's not my type of thing.
Yeah. It's not very inspiring.
No, and that leads me to my next question, actually, because there is copying, but there's also drawing inspiration. And I'm curious if there's a brand or a
right.
particular watchmaker that you draw inspiration from, that you look at that and you say, you know what, this makes me want to be a watchmaker, or it gives me an idea. Is there anyone like that?
But at first, when I was doing my research about dials made of leather, I saw Hublot. Like I said before, like with their collaboration with a shoe brand named Berluti. I liked what they did, but it wasn't. I wanted to do something more.
Mhm.
But there's another brand, Hermes. They did some watches with a lot of different materials for the dials. I saw some leather, and again, it wasn't stitched, but it was like worked more than just stamped. I think it was like with the. I don't know what's the term in the world. I think it's when they do patchwork together and they do like a mosaic of something. I don't know what's the word, but I feel that that's inspiring to see more, to take a material and to put more work than someone else, I guess, or to do something more than just plain or stamped. Yeah, create something. Like my inspiration, yeah, is from cars, handbags, and in watches. That's something different. So inspiration from other brands, I don't know.
have you met Aaron from Aaron Bespoke?
Yeah. I asked him. I saw him just before the Vancouver Timepiece Show. I saw him because I went to him to see if he can do like a specific case, a travel case for my watches.
Yeah.
And because I saw one of the case of Zinnia from Jason, they gave the Toronto Timepiece Show last year, and I really liked the case. And I saw his website, and I saw the same case. But he told me like it's a case that everyone does. It's not like a specific thing to him. But I asked him to do it with real leather for 3 watches. But it was a little bit complicated on the timing. side because I wanted to put my brand on it to stamp it,
Mm.
and he didn't find any person who can do like the stamping metal part that does the stamping, and so yeah, we just canceled, and I just bought another travel case from another brand, real leather. But yeah, I knew him. I know he does some he does straps, leather straps.
Yeah.
They're not like
He works with all kinds of different materials. That's what I was
yeah,
thinking
he
about.
does like funky materials like I guess shark things like that sometimes.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. It's not my vision on my brand. Like I'm more, and when he does, it's like more. How is that? It's like not precise, but it's like more. In my case, my watches like I like to be like minimalist and precise, elegant, classic. In his is more like he will do leather straps where it's like a sporty look. Yes, I guess.
Yeah. It's mostly sporty stuff.
There's
Yeah.
a rugged look to his work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
His company used to be called Combat Straps. So
Oh, there you go.
okay. I didn't know that.
yeah. So they're the one that kind of tells you everything right there.
I know he's Latino, so I spoke to him in Spanish. That's cool. But to assemble like the Latino community here in Montreal. But yeah, I don't know him that much more than that. I saw him at the last Montreal gathering when I
Yeah.
saw you too. He was there too. I didn't spoke to him. There was so much people I was talking to.
Yeah, we got to visit his facility not that long ago, and it's very impressive what they do with it. But it's unbelievable that everything is all like similar to your stuff, is all handmade and all made to measure and made custom for customers. He's got just maybe one or two models that he's going to make as production runs,
Okay.
but everything else is all custom. Everything's custom.
Yeah, it's right beside the School of Leather work in the same building.
Same building. Yeah.
Yeah, same building.
I went there recently to see if I can maybe delegate the quilting side of my watches, but I like to do it too. Like my name is on it, so I don't know if it will be something in the
You know what? No one's going to be as precise. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. No one's going to be as meticulous and take it to heart as much as you will.
Taking to heart for sure, but they're specialists in that. Like I learned from if I showed my work to a leather specialist and they do the same quilting, and maybe after some trials, then for sure they will do a better work than me. Like it will be like better. The watchmaking side will be better on my side, but the leather side will be better on their side. But I like the fact that it's not perfect, that all the dies are different. And so I don't know.
And I bet there are people that are going to like the fact that you did it.
True. Yeah. True. Also,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I'm not sure if I want to delegate. So the same thing for when I went to Vancouver, like the fact that I was behind the table, or like sometimes I was in front of the table, but I mean, like I was like with my brand, like I was the owner of the brands. A lot of brands that were like represented. It's not a bad thing. It's just that the connection I had with the people looking my brands at my watches, they were like, "Oh, you're the creator of the watch." I was like, "Well, yeah." So I can explain what I do in person. That was a nice feeling.
Yeah, it was a good show, and James made some really nice banners for you. It looked really good at your show at the booth.
Sorry, he did what?
The banners, the big displays that you had.
Yeah, the photos.
You had someone that are life size. They were gorgeous.
Yeah, but I did like he did the photo for this one. I just did like the montage, let's say.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's very, very good as a photographer. James Cornish.
Just to give you guys an idea, Jose had his black losange that he did in 2019, right? So James did the photography for that watch, and then fast forward 6 years, he comes out with the red one, and Jose asked him to make the exact same pictures as the one he did 6 years ago, and he was able to match the lighting, the textures, the sizes, the angles,
everything,
and did an incredible job at that.
Wow.
I was super, super precise about meticulous about the front photo of the watch, because it's the one that you can see right away in my website. And I want to be like all the watches like the same, but the rest is all made. I always give him like some, how you say that, carte blanche, white card?
Yeah. Top-notch.
go to the photos, and he's also super meticulous in his photos and his work. And you can
Yeah.
if you can zoom in the photos, you can see it's not CGI or something like that. It's all photo that he retouch it just to see it more of the deepness or things like that.
I was going to say that I think that the two of you having met each other is, two people who are incredibly, detail driven and meticulous in both of their fields. So when you work together, it definitely produces something that's fantastic. And as serendipity would have it, you guys are both featured in the next issue of the Calibrated Wrist that comes out at the Toronto Timepiece Show, and his photography is just phenomenal as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the stuff that he's done, and like you say, no CGI, no games on a computer. These are things that he literally puts together and light paints and does long exposures. But I won't give away too much, but you've got to see that article. It's fantastic.
Cool. Can't wait.
Yes. Speaking of the Calibrated Wrist, as an independent watchmaker, an independent maker, how do you cultivate awareness and interest in your work? Have reviews like the one featured in the Calibrated Wrist played any significant roles?
Yes, a lot. The one Brent did, I think it was just before Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before Vancouver. That was my first real review from a reviewer who knows about watches, and it was so big for me, and I had so much. How you say that? Persons who comes to me to ask more questions about it, and it was super. They were interested in my watches. I also appeared in the La Presse, the journal here in Montreal. That gave me a lot of how you say that? Vision
Exposure.
exposure, exactly.
Yeah.
More on the sales side, you can say. But yeah, I like that I have now reviews from watch enthusiasts that knows about watches. It's not like yes, the brand is from Montreal, that gives a uniqueness, we can say. But from when I'm hearing good feedbacks from others, people who knows about the work I do, about watches in general, I like it. Super nice to have, to feel, to hear. Yeah, I can't wait for the next Calibrated Wrist magazine. It will be released in Toronto, right? For Toronto?
That's correct. Yeah. Friday night.
Yeah, there's a show going on, I think it's this week or next week, the Geneva Watch Days, and there's going to be a panel of collectors, influencers, and actual watch journalists talking about what you said, that the rise of the influencers and people reviewing watches that know nothing about watches.
Yeah.
And the credibility that people give these people when they say they don't like something, or this should sell, or this should be the new trend. Whereas, look at us, the white in my beard and Brent. We've been doing this for a long time. We know watches. We've handled thousands of watches over the years and owned hundreds and hundreds. These are the people that should be reviewing watches and giving credibility and explaining things.
That's so true.
Yeah. And not the influencer that puts 5 Rolexes on a steering wheel of a Lamborghini.
There goes my next video.
Like I said before, some people, it's more for the status.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's not just for watches, it's also for shoes or clothes, anything.
It's driven the market and it's raised the prices. Anyways, I'll go on another tangent and get all pissed off, so I'm not going to do that right
I personally never put my Rolexes on my Lamborghinis. So lame.
So last question for me. You're both a watchmaker and a designer. How do you balance these roles? So there's one aspect, technical precision or artistic expression influence the other. So what is it, design before function or function before design?
Function first. No, design first. Like when I do my drawings, it's all sometimes theoretically not possible. So sometimes I draw some stuff like super funky, super irrealistic, let's say. But after I have to make sure the mechanical side, the engineering side is going well with it. That's why I said, like I said before, what I like about my watch is the fact that half of it, we can say the bottom half is like the mechanical side, and the bottom up is like the artistic side, and they can fit together. And that's a proof that you can do stuff and think outside of the box.
Mhm.
So yeah. I never gave myself like that title, that title of designer, but I guess yes. I
Absolutely.
like to
And
create, make my creation coming true.
you mentioned earlier, I'm sorry, just going off again.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned the threads with the channel underneath the brass dial, right? Did you figure that out by accident? Did you like make the watch and then put it on, and the threads were messing around with the movement, and then you realize, oh, I got to make channels to make the threads disappear?
At first, no.
How did that?
At first,
No.
no. At first, there was a plastic, a plastic like film under to not touch the movement, things like that. But it wasn't straight. Like I said before, the holes was all hand drilled by myself, and it was not like super straight, let's say. But I remember at first I was buying stuff at Dollarama, like baseballs. I was removing the leather of it and see how the stitching is made. I was trying some things, and yeah, a lot of trials. But the further I went, the further I was like, okay, I have this difficulty, this constraint.
Obstacle. Yeah.
Obstacle, yeah, and I have to make this different. The pattern of the stitching, like I said, it's only one thread, so it has to pass by this way and this way. You cannot pass this 2 times in this way. So yeah, it's like a puzzle, and you will see it in the video. I can't wait to you to
I'm
see
really
the
dying
video.
to see this. Honestly, I can't wait.
I guess I cannot explain it rather like very.
Brent, you got to get Caroline to finish that.
And what I like about the quilting is all it gives a pattern, and it gives like it's like a maximum reach, because if there's like a let's say a bigger square there and a smaller square there, the gap will be so huge, then the hands have to be like so much higher. One thing about the movement I'm using a Swiss movement, the SW300, but I had to do some modification for it because of the hands with the security so high. I don't know if you know the terms, but there's like usually it's like people use the height for the height of the hands would be like H2, H1, H2, H3. In my case, it's like H10. Like there's like a huge gap between the movement and itself. The cannons are big till the hands where they are deposit, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that, yes, that's because my dials are so like huge. The base of my dials, just the base, is like the thickness of a normal dial, 0.4 millimeters, something like that. And in my case, my base is 0.8 because I have to do the 5 lines be under. There's the foam and there's the leather. The leather is as thick as the dial. The foam gives like the foam in itself is like 10 millimeters, I think, or 15. But because of the stitching, it's all going down, and to give that
it compresses. Yeah,
it compresses to give that deepness between the quilting, all the squares, the losange. So
that's very cool.
A lot of obstacles, and I learned while I was doing, even there, not just the admin stuff, business stuff, but even when I was doing the production of dials. I will show it to you, but you cannot see it in the podcast, but you can see a little bit of the file lines on there.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow, look at that.
Very cool.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. In Toronto, what I will do for sure is bring more of these, like...
Oh, yeah, you have to.
But not stitched together, just like apart, so you can see like the work before the stitching. And maybe like sometimes like a 50% finished, so you can see like this one is like a 50% finished I have in my hand right now, and you can see like how it's made. You can see how the thickness of it is like super huge on the side.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's 50%, so it's supposed to be like way bigger. But yeah,
that's awesome.
I wanted to give like a real deepness to it, not like just a quilting and that's it.
Very cool. So I don't know if anybody else has any questions If not, I just want to say on behalf of us and the listeners that we really appreciate you taking the time. It has been great chatting, and I'm sure we'll see you again really soon. Obviously, we will now at the Toronto Timepiece show that's
Can't
coming
wait.
right up in a few weeks. So
Yes.
we're all really excited for that. But
Got my
thanks.
trinket yesterday.
Yeah. Really appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you in Toronto. The Time to Calibrate podcast is out every 2 weeks and can be found wherever you get your podcasts. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out on Instagram or email us directly at timetocalibrate@gmail.com. Until next time, T2C out.
Hello, everybody. This is Mark. Just as we were finishing recording, Jose remembered a program from Quebec that helped him get his business off the ground, and he mentioned it post-recording. So I'm going to edit it in right here, and he'll tell you all about it, and then we'll end the show. Thank you.
One thing I forgot to say is about a help I have here in Montreal. It's a program. It's called Self-Employment Support Program. It's like I had like a minimum salary for a year, 35 hours a week. I was accepted just to work on my business for like a full year, and that helped me a lot. It will be like so interesting for other people living in Quebec. Maybe there's other programs like that. It is difficult to have it, but when you presentation, you don't have to have started to sell the product you wanted to sell, but it doesn't have to be like in the prototype phase. It has to be like in a specific phase to be accepted too. And when I presented my watches, it was so unique because they never saw like a watchmaker doing something like that. Even just a watchmaker doing their own brand in Montreal. And the watch was in 3D printed with a functional mechanical movement inside, and the dial, even the crystal were like in plastic, but you can see it there. You can see the plan d'affaires, the placement proposal and everything. So I got accepted, and it gave me a full year of salary to work on my business. So that helped me a lot.